Hello, and welcome, my dear listeners. I'm so happy you're here today. You're listening to Super English Talks, a place where we help you improve your speaking, listening, and communication skills in a fun and simple way. If you want to speak English fluently and confidently, you're in the right place. Today's topic: think in English and speak fluently. That's right. Thinking in English is one of the most powerful ways to speak better and faster. Let me ask you, do you understand English but struggle to speak? Do you translate in your head before talking? Do you pause a lot while speaking? Do you feel nervous or afraid of making mistakes? If you said yes, don't worry. You're not alone. Many learners feel the same. But here's the good news. You can train your brain to think in English. And I'll show you how. Imagine this. What if you could think in English without translating? Words and sentences came out easily. You felt confident speaking in any situation? Sounds great, right? Today, I'll teach you simple and fun ways to train your brain to think in English, so speaking becomes easy and fluent. What we'll talk about today: why thinking in English helps fluency, common problems and how to fix them, step-by-step tips to start thinking in English, easy daily exercises to train your brain, how thinking in English builds confidence. So whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who wants to speak English easily, this episode is for you. Stay until the end. I'll give you some special exercises you can start using today. You don't want to miss them. Let's get started. Why is thinking in English so important? Before we explain why it helps, let's first ask, what does thinking mean? Thinking is what your brain does all day. You think when you make decisions, solve problems, plan what to do, say how you feel. Sometimes you think in pictures, other times in words. When you're about to speak or write, you first form the words in your head. That's thinking. Even small things like, what should I eat? Where are my keys? All involve thinking. So, if your thoughts happen in English, your words will come out faster and easier. How we think affects how we speak. The way you think affects your actions, your choices, and even how you speak to others. What does thinking in English mean? Thinking in English means you use English inside your head when you're thinking about things, making decisions, or having ideas. Instead of first thinking in your native language and then translating into English, you train your brain to think directly in English. Example: let's say you see a tree. If your native language is Spanish, your first thought might be árbol, then you translate to tree. But if you're thinking in English, you immediately think tree, no translation needed. This small change makes a big difference. It helps you speak faster, more fluently, and with more confidence. Why translating slows you down? Many learners speak slowly because they try to translate every word before saying it. This creates a delay in your mind. If you translate, you hear the question. You translate it to your language. You think of your answer. You translate it to English. You finally speak. That's a lot of work. But if you think in English, you hear the question in English. You think of the answer in English. You speak. Much faster and more natural. Why thinking in English is important. Let's look at why this skill is so powerful. 1. It makes you speak faster. When you stop translating, you speak quicker and more naturally. It feels more like a real conversation. Imagine you're in a coffee shop. The barista says, "What would you like to order?" If you think in your native language, you pause, translate, and then answer slowly. But if you think in English, you quickly reply, "I'll have a cappuccino, please." Less thinking, more speaking. 2. It helps you learn naturally. We'll continue this next if you want. Think in English equals learn naturally. When you think in English, you learn the language naturally, like how native speakers learn, not by memorizing grammar rules or translating. Think of babies. They hear words, connect them with meaning, and slowly begin to think in that language. No translation needed. You can train your brain to do the same. Example: instead of learning that run means career in Spanish or career in French, you just connect run with the action of running. So when you hear run, your brain sees the action, not the translation. 3. It builds confidence. Many learners feel nervous when speaking English. They worry about making mistakes, pause to find the right words, get stuck trying to translate. But when you think in English, you feel more relaxed because you're not focused on translation. Your brain gets used to forming sentences directly in English. Example: at a party, someone asks, "Where are you from?" If you think in English, you quickly say, "I'm from Brazil." If you're thinking in your native language, you might pause, translate, and feel nervous. Confidence comes with practice, and thinking in English is one of the best ways to build that confidence. 4. It improves your listening skills. Thinking in English also makes it easier to understand native speakers.
Why?
Because you're not translating in your head. Many learners struggle with listening because they hear English, translate it into their native language, then try to understand it. That's slow and confusing, especially when native speakers talk fast. Example: you hear, "Let's grab a bite." If you try to translate it word by word, you'll get confused. But if you think in English, you'll know it means, "Let's go eat something." 5. Thinking in English helps you sound natural. When you translate from your native language, your sentences might sound strange or incorrect in English.
Why?
Because different languages use different grammar and expressions. But if you think in English, your sentences will sound natural and fluent. Example: in some languages, people ask, "How many years do you have?" But in English, we say, "How old are you?" If you think in English, you'll naturally say the correct version without needing to translate. 6. It makes English part of your daily life. To become fluent, English must become part of your everyday routine, not just something you study in class. Thinking in English keeps you connected to the language all day long. Example: in the morning, instead of thinking in your native language, like lay, Spanish for I have to get up, train yourself to think, I have to get up. When you see something, name it in English, not your native language. Over time, this becomes a habit and helps you speak more easily and naturally. Summary: why thinking in English is powerful. Thinking in English helps you speak faster, learn more naturally, feel confident, improve your listening, sound more natural, use English daily. The more you think in English, the closer you'll get to fluency. Common challenges of thinking in English and how to overcome them. Thinking in English is not easy at first. Many learners still think in their native language and then translate everything, which slows them down. But don't worry, this is normal. Let's look at a big challenge and how to solve it. Challenge 1. Translating from your native language. Many learners get stuck because they try to translate every sentence in their heads before speaking or writing. This
Takes time.
leads to mistakes, makes conversations difficult. Solution: practice and immersion. To stop translating, surround yourself with English as much as possible. Try these. Listen to English podcasts. Watch English movies or shows. Read books in English. Talk to yourself in English. The more you hear, read, and use English, the more natural it becomes, and your brain will start to think in English automatically. Keep thinking in English, even in daily life. When you surround yourself with English, your brain starts to connect English words directly with their meanings, not their translations. Over time, this becomes automatic. Tip: try to think in English during everyday activities. For example, while you're walking,
cleaning, cooking.
just describe what you're doing in English. I'm washing the dishes. The weather is nice today. This simple habit helps your brain get used to thinking in English. Challenge 2. Limited vocabulary. Sometimes you can't think in English because you don't know enough words. You feel stuck, and that makes you hesitate when you try to speak or think in English. Solution: learn vocabulary in context. Instead of just memorizing single words, learn them in full phrases or sentences. Example: instead of only learning beautiful, say, "The sunset is beautiful. She wore a beautiful dress." This way, you'll understand how to use the word naturally. You can also keep a vocabulary notebook. Use apps like Anki or Quizlet to review new words. Write or speak sentences using those new words. The more you use them, the easier it is to remember them and think in English with confidence. Challenge 3. Fear of making mistakes. Many people are scared of making mistakes, so they avoid speaking or even thinking in English. But this fear slows down your progress. Solution: accept mistakes as a normal part of learning. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Try these. Join friendly English speaking groups. Talk with friends or practice with a tutor. Don't be afraid to say the wrong word. Just keep going. Remember, mistakes equals learning. Progress is more important than perfection. Celebrate small wins, even if it's just speaking one sentence without stopping. Challenge 4. Overthinking and mental blocks. Sometimes your brain freezes because you're trying too hard to say everything perfectly. You worry about grammar, finding the right word, or making a mistake. This causes stress and makes thinking in English harder. Solution: focus on fluency, not perfection. Don't try to be perfect, just try to get your message across. Try this. Speak or write in simple sentences. Don't stop to correct every mistake. Think first, fix later. Also relax. Give yourself time. Imagine you're thinking in your native language. Do the same in English, even if it's not perfect. The more you practice, the more confident and fluent you'll become. Challenge 5. Not enough speaking practice. Many learners don't get enough chances to speak English. Without regular practice, your brain can struggle to recall the words you need, especially in real-time situations. This makes thinking in English more difficult. Solution: practice speaking every day. Make speaking part of your daily life, even if it's just yourself. Try this. Join conversation clubs or language exchange groups. Talk to yourself about your day. I'm making lunch. I had a good day. Record yourself speaking, then listen and improve. The more you speak, the easier it becomes for your brain to think in English naturally and confidently. Challenge 6. Inconsistent practice. Practicing only once in a while slows your progress. If you don't use English often, your brain won't build the habit of thinking in English. Solution: be consistent. Even 15 to 20 minutes a day makes a big difference. Here's how to make English a habit. Read a few pages of a book.
Listen to a podcast.
Watch a short video in English. Describe your surroundings in English as you walk or commute. The key is daily exposure. The more you hear, read, and speak English, the more natural it becomes to think in it. Challenge 7. Difficulty with complex thoughts. You might find it easy to think about simple things in English, but harder to talk about deep or complex ideas like emotions, politics, science, etc. This happens when you don't yet have the vocabulary or grammar for more advanced thinking. Solution: level up your English. To express complex thoughts in English, you need more advanced language tools.
Try this.
Read articles, books, or watch TED Talks on challenging topics. Look up new words, idioms, or sentence structures. Use what you learn in your own sentences, writing, or speech. For example, read a news article, then summarize it in English. Watch a video, then talk about your opinion in English. Bit by bit, you'll train your brain to handle complex thinking in English too. Additionally, break down complex ideas. When you're trying to think about a complicated topic in English, start simple. Break it down into smaller, easier parts. Then, build it back up using more complex vocabulary as your skills grow. For example, instead of saying, "The economy is experiencing a downturn due to inflation and market volatility," start with, "The economy is not doing well. Prices are going up. People are spending less." With time and practice, you'll be able to express complex ideas confidently and clearly in English. Remember, thinking in English takes time. Thinking in English is a long-term skill. It doesn't happen overnight, but with daily practice, patience, and the right strategies, it becomes easier every day. By tackling the 7 common challenges we discussed: translating from your native language, limited vocabulary, fear of making mistakes, overthinking and mental blocks, lack of speaking practice, inconsistent practice, difficulty with complex ideas, you'll slowly rewire your brain to think in English naturally, just like native speakers do. Step-by-step methods to start thinking in English. Thinking in English will make your speaking faster, your listening sharper, and your communication more fluent. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you build that skill from the ground up. Step 1. Start with simple vocabulary. Begin with words you use every day. You don't need fancy vocabulary to start thinking in English. You need relevant vocabulary. Focus on basic words like eat, go, sleep, home, work, phone, coffee. Then, form simple thoughts in English. Instead of, "I need to eat lunch," think, "I'm hungry. I want lunch." Avoid translating. Try to connect the English word directly to the idea. Step 2. Describe everyday situations. Use English to describe what's happening around you, out loud or silently. For example, "I'm walking to the store. It's sunny today. I see a red car." Do this during your normal day, while cleaning, cooking, walking, or commuting. The more you describe your world in English, the more automatic your thinking becomes. Step 3. Use English for your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue is the voice in your head that talks to you all day. It's also a powerful tool for language learning. Instead of, "Tengo que estudiar después de cenar," think in English. "I need to study after dinner." Make it a habit to talk to yourself in English. Make to-do lists in your head. Plan your day in English. Reflect on your feelings in English. "I'm tired. I'm excited. This is difficult, but I'll try." The more you use English internally, the faster you'll think in English externally. Step 4. Engage in English immersion. Immersion means surrounding yourself with English as much as possible in your daily life. It's one of the most effective ways to train your brain to think directly in English without translation. Why it works? You get used to hearing and reading English naturally. Your brain begins to process the language automatically. You start to associate English words with experiences rather than translations. How to immerse yourself. Listen to English podcasts while walking or commuting. Watch TV shows, YouTube videos, or movies in English with or without subtitles, depending on your level. Read books, news articles, blogs, or even social media posts in English. Change your phone or app settings to English. Try to think about what you're seeing or hearing in English, not just passively consume it. Example: watching a cooking video? Try thinking, she's chopping the onions. Now she's frying them in oil. That smells delicious. Even 30 minutes a day of immersion makes a big difference over time. Step 5. Focus on thinking in full sentences. When learning English, many people start with single words. But to think fluently, you need to connect words into full sentences. This mirrors how native speakers form thoughts, not in fragments, but in complete ideas. Why it matters. Helps you speak more naturally in conversations. Trains your brain to form complete, logical thoughts in English. Prepares you for real-life speaking situations. What to do. Instead of thinking, coffee, work, tired.
Try,
I need a cup of coffee before work because I feel tired. You can start with simple sentence structures and expand as you improve. Tip: use the sentence pattern. Subject plus verb plus object plus reason. I'm going to the store to buy some fruit. She's studying hard because she has an exam. The more you do this, the faster and more naturally your thoughts will flow in English. Step 6. Challenge yourself with thought exercises. Thought exercises help you strengthen your ability to think in English, especially when you're not in a conversation. They're great for training your mind to stay in English mode, even when you're alone. Benefits: builds mental fluency, develops your ability to think creatively and clearly in English, prepares you for speaking, writing, and comprehension tasks. How to do it? Pick a topic, any topic, and think about it in English for 2 to 5 minutes. Some beginner-friendly topics include what you did today, your plans for the weekend, a book, movie, or video you liked, your opinion on a current event, what you'd do with $1 million. Example: on Sunday, I want to relax at home. I'll watch a movie and cook dinner. Maybe I'll call my friend in the evening. Over time, move to more complex topics like explaining how something works, comparing cultures, or giving advice. Bonus challenge: pretend you're being interviewed and answer questions out loud in English. Step 7. Practice speaking out loud. Speaking your thoughts aloud helps your brain connect internal ideas with spoken English, building fluency and confidence. Why it helps: activates your speech muscles, reinforces grammar and vocabulary, makes your thoughts feel more real and expressive. How to do it? Narrate daily actions. I'm opening the window. The weather looks sunny. Talk about what you see or feel. This coffee tastes strong. I need it this morning. Reflect on experiences. Yesterday was stressful. I had too many meetings. Over time, this helps your brain treat English like a default thinking language. Step 8. Use visual cues to trigger English thoughts. Use objects and scenes around you to prompt English-based thinking instead of translating. Why it helps: creates direct associations between objects and English words. Strengthens vocabulary retention. Helps you respond to your environment in English. How to practice: label everyday items with sticky notes, for example, mirror, desk, toothbrush, light switch, microwave. Think of the English name instantly when you see something. Mentally describe what you're doing with that object. I'm opening the fridge. I need eggs and milk. This exercise helps bypass your native language and automatically engage English. Step 9. Be patient and consistent. Thinking in English is a long-term skill. It won't happen overnight, but small efforts each day add up. Why this matters: builds realistic expectations, reduces frustration, encourages regular practice. How to stay on track: set a daily goal. 10 minutes of inner dialogue, 5 new words, 1 description. Track your streak. Use a journal, app, or calendar to stay consistent. Reward your progress. Celebrate when you complete a week of daily practice. Even 15 minutes a day is enough to retrain your thinking habits over time. Step 10. Review and reflect regularly. Regular self-reflection helps you see your progress and refine your techniques. Why it's helpful: boosts motivation, reveals weak spots to improve, reinforces what's working well. Weekly reflection questions. Do I think in English more often than before? What situations make me switch to my native language? Which exercises helped me the most this week? What new words or expressions did I use successfully? Reflection strengthens awareness and accelerates improvement. Exercise 1. Label your environment. A simple but powerful way to start thinking in English by connecting English words to real-world objects. How to do it: write English words on sticky notes. Place them on everyday objects: mirror, chair, sink, remote. Say or think the word when you see the object. Bonus challenge: describe the function of the object out loud. This is a remote. I use it to change the TV channel. This builds instant recall and trains your brain to think in English without needing to translate. Exercise 2. Think in English for a set amount of time. Designate a short daily session. Start with 5 to 10 minutes where you only think in English. Why it works: builds mental discipline to use English without translating. Increases comfort and fluency over time. How to do it: choose a quiet moment during your day while walking, eating, or commuting. Think about your day. I have a meeting at 3. I need to buy groceries. Avoid using your native language during this period. Challenge yourself to speak aloud what you're thinking. Now I'm making coffee. I'll drink it before work. Gradually increase the time as it gets easier. Exercise 3. Describe everything around you. Choose a place or object and describe it in detail using English. Why it works: enhances descriptive vocabulary, encourages full sentence formation. How to do it: example from a park. The trees are tall and green. I see children playing. The air smells fresh. Indoors. The table is made of wood. My phone is charging on it. The lamp gives soft light. This exercise helps your brain connect English directly to your surroundings, skipping the translation step. Exercise 4. Silent conversations in English. Have imaginary conversations in your head entirely in English. Why it works: builds conversational flow and confidence. Develops quick response thinking. How to do it: pretend you're talking to a friend or coworker. You: hi, how was your weekend? Them: it was great. I went hiking. What about you? You: I stayed home and watched a movie. Imagine both sides of the conversation using natural phrases and real-life situations. Exercise 5. Keep a journal in English. Write regularly in English about your day, thoughts, or ideas. Why it works: helps organize thoughts in English. Improves grammar, vocabulary, and sentence structure. How to do it: start with short entries. Today I went shopping. I bought fruits and vegetables. build up to more complex ideas. I felt a bit stressed, but writing helps me relax and focus. Avoid using translation apps. Try to work through gaps using an English dictionary or thesaurus instead. Exercise 6. Listen to English content and mimic. Watch or listen to English media and repeat what you hear out loud. Why it works. Improves listening comprehension, pronunciation, and rhythm. Trains your brain to hear and respond in English. How to do it. Choose content. YouTube, audiobooks, TED Talks, or podcasts. Listen to a sentence, then pause and mimic. I didn't expect that ending. It was amazing. You say it aloud. Repeat multiple times for accuracy and fluency. Over time, this will help you think in English the way native speakers speak. Exercise 7. Ask yourself questions in English. Train your brain by asking and answering everyday questions in English. Why it works. Builds mental fluency and responsiveness. Helps you internalize English grammar and vocabulary. How to do it. Throughout the day, ask yourself, what should I wear today? Do I feel tired? What will I eat for dinner? Then answer in full sentences. I'll wear my blue shirt. It's comfortable. Yes, I feel tired because I didn't sleep well. Make it part of your daily mental routine. Exercise 8. Use visual cues to trigger English thoughts. Use your environment to train your brain to automatically think in English. Why it works. Builds direct associations between objects and their English names. Reduces dependency on your native language. How to do it. Label household items with sticky notes. Mirror, stove, towel. Add descriptions. This is the mirror I use in the morning. When you see the object, think and speak about it in English. Exercise 9. Create mental stories. Use storytelling to organize your thoughts and improve your ability to think in full paragraphs. Why it works. Enhances creativity and logical expression in English. Encourages advanced vocabulary and tenses. How to do it. Create a short story about your day. Today, I woke up early. I saw the sunrise from my window. It was beautiful. Try fictional stories. There was a dragon who lived in the mountains. Use your imagination and practice both speaking and writing these stories. Exercise 10. Reflect in English at the end of the day. Before bed, take a moment to review your day in English. Why it works. Reinforces daily vocabulary and grammar usage. Builds confidence and fluency with personal expression. How to do it. Think or speak to yourself. What did I do today? What went well? What can I improve? Even better, combine this with journaling to track your progress over time. Final summary. The Think in English strategy. Thinking in English is one of the most effective ways to reach fluency. It eliminates the need for translation, builds speed, confidence, and comprehension, trains your brain to function like a native speaker's. Key techniques. Label your environment. Dedicate English-only thinking time. Describe surroundings in detail. Practice silent conversations. Keep a journal in English. Mimic native speech from media. Ask and answer questions mentally. Use visual triggers around you. Tell short stories in your head. Reflect daily in English. How thinking in English leads to fluency. Fluency in English, like any other language, isn't just about memorizing vocabulary or understanding grammar rules. It's about making the language a natural part of your thought process. The ability to think directly in English, without needing to translate from your native language, is a crucial step in achieving true fluency. This transition can dramatically improve your speaking, listening, and writing skills. The connection between thinking and language fluency. When we speak or write in a language, we need to form sentences quickly and naturally. If we are translating each word from our native language into English in our minds, it slows down the process, making it sound unnatural and hesitant. Fluency involves thinking in English directly, which allows for smoother, quicker communication. This is because the brain no longer needs to translate. It can simply access English words and structures instantly. Thinking in English involves a shift in how the brain processes the language. Instead of seeing English as a foreign language that requires translation, it becomes an active and dynamic tool for communication. This mental shift allows learners to access a deeper understanding of the language, making it easier to construct sentences, understand idiomatic expressions, and use correct tenses and vocabulary without hesitation. Benefits of thinking in English. Number 1. Quicker response times. One of the most immediate benefits of thinking in English is that it significantly speeds up response times in conversations. The ability to understand a question and immediately formulate an answer is essential. If you're constantly translating, you lag behind the conversation and miss the flow of ideas. Thinking in English lets you process information and respond without the delay translation causes, which is especially important in real-world situations where timely responses keep conversations flowing smoothly. Number 2. Better pronunciation and intonation. When you think in English, you begin to internalize the rhythm and melody of the language. Would you like me to finish polishing this section? Also, do you want it included in the final document along with the other steps and exercises, or kept separate? Number 3. Improved vocabulary and idiomatic use. Thinking in English helps you naturally acquire a broader range of vocabulary. Instead of memorizing disconnected word lists, you begin to recognize which words fit naturally in various contexts. This leads to using more appropriate and varied vocabulary in everyday conversations. Additionally, idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs, which often confuse learners because they don't translate literally, become easier to understand and use. When you think in English, you start to grasp these phrases as part of the language's culture and structure, making your communication more authentic. Number 4. Reduced mental stress. Translation is mentally exhausting. Constantly switching between languages puts extra cognitive load on your brain, requiring energy and concentration that can hinder your ability to keep up in conversations. When you think directly in English, the language flows more effortlessly. You don't have to scramble to find the right translation or worry about grammar mistakes. Your mind relaxes and your confidence in speaking improves. Number 5. Strengthened grammar skills. Grammar isn't just about memorizing rules, it's about practice. Thinking in English encourages your brain to apply grammar rules automatically in real-time situations. When you form sentences, your mind recalls proper sentence structures, verb tenses, articles, and prepositions subconsciously. This repeated practice helps you internalize grammar so that you no longer need to consciously think about it while speaking or writing, leading to greater accuracy and comfort. Number 6. Enhanced listening skills. Thinking in English improves your ability to understand spoken English. Native speakers don't translate their thoughts into another language before speaking. They simply express themselves in English. By training your brain to think the same way, you tune your mind to process English naturally. This makes it easier to follow conversations, movies, news broadcasts, and other spoken English media because your brain is processing the language as it's intended, not word-by-word translation. How to start thinking in English. Transitioning from thinking in your native language to thinking in English may take some time, but with consistent practice, it becomes second nature. The exercises and strategies outlined earlier will help you gradually shift your inner dialogue to English, building fluency, confidence, and ease in communication. Strategies to start thinking in English. Number 1. Label your environment. Begin by labeling objects around your home or workplace with their English names. For example, place sticky notes on the door, fridge, desk, or mirror with the English word for each item. This simple method helps your brain associate everyday objects with their English terms and encourages you to think in English when interacting with these items. Number 2. Practice inner dialogue in English. Pay attention to your thoughts and challenge yourself to think in English instead of your native language. You can start by describing what you see, feel, or are doing at the moment. For example, while walking to the store, think, "I'm walking to the store to buy some groceries. I hope they have the apples I like." Consciously shifting your internal monologue to English strengthens the habit of thinking in the language. Number 3. Engage in English immersion. Surround yourself with English as much as possible. Listen to podcasts, watch movies, read books, or follow social media accounts in English. The more exposure you have, the more likely you are to think in English naturally. Additionally, try to interact with native speakers or other learners through language exchanges, online forums, or conversation clubs. Real-life conversations are especially effective for training your brain to process English without translating. Number 4. Start small and gradually increase complexity. If thinking in English feels challenging, begin with simple topics such as your daily routine, food preferences, or shopping lists. As you grow more comfortable, move on to more complex subjects like your career goals, future plans, or abstract ideas. This gradual approach helps build your confidence without overwhelming you. Why thinking in English matters. Thinking in English is one of the most powerful ways to improve your language skills and achieve fluency. It allows you to respond faster, speak more naturally, and understand the language on a deeper level. By shifting your thought process from your native language to English, communication becomes easier, more confident, and more intuitive. Though it requires practice and patience, the benefits of thinking in English make the effort worthwhile. The more you immerse yourself in the language and make it a natural part of your mental routine, the more fluent you will become. Encouragement and motivation. Learning to think in English is not just about memorizing vocabulary or grammar. It's about changing how your mind works with the language, making English a natural part of your daily life. If you're feeling nervous or unsure about reaching fluency, remember this. Everyone starts somewhere, and fluency is a journey, not a race. With consistent effort and the right strategies, you absolutely can make English a natural part of your thoughts and speech. Believe in your progress, stay motivated, and keep practicing. Your fluency is within reach. Number 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. You don't need to be perfect to be fluent in English. Fluency is a journey, not a final destination. Every time you practice thinking or speaking in English, you get better. Celebrate the small wins, like having a conversation without pausing to translate, understanding a movie or podcast without subtitles, or speaking more confidently than before. These are all signs of progress. Recognize and celebrate every step forward, no matter how small. Number 6. Imagine your future self. Visualize yourself having natural, effortless conversations in English. The words come easily and you express yourself clearly and confidently. You understand everything and respond smoothly. This future is entirely possible with practice. Thinking in English will get you there. Every day you work toward this goal brings you closer to that confident, fluent version of yourself. Number 7. Keep the end goal in mind. Fluency opens many doors. Traveling, working internationally, connecting with people from different cultures, or simply feeling confident in social situations. English is your bridge to these opportunities. Your hard work today lays the foundation for your future success. Number 8. Find joy in the process. Learning a language can be challenging, but it should also be fun and rewarding. Find ways to enjoy the journey. Watch movies, read books, talk with friends in English. The more you enjoy learning, the easier it becomes to stay motivated. When you find joy in the process, even the difficult moments feel manageable. Final words of encouragement. No matter where you are on your journey right now, remember this. You are doing amazing, and you are improving every day. Don't rush. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't fear mistakes. They are part of learning. Every effort, big or small, moves you closer to your goal of fluency. Look back at how far you've come and celebrate your progress. Keep pushing forward. You've got this. Keep practicing, keep thinking in English, and before you know it, fluency will become a natural part of who you are. Remember, fluency is a journey, and you are on the right path. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and share it with friends who are also learning English. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, fluency is just a step away. We'll be back with more tips to help you on your journey. Keep listening, keep learning.